Something about the world ain't right. A darkness lives in plain sight. In the ether, adjust your eyes. There are those that have no clue. You give them hints, they just stare at you. Most could live in Plato's cave, watching.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today with the one and only Smitty from Sound Alive Records. He's got Sound Alive Radio coming up, Distromint. If you follow him on X, he's always got amazing stuff that he's part of. So, Smitty, welcome to the show, and thanks everybody for joining us from Rumble and Instagram. We're choosing to share to Instagram now instead of Facebook, just due to copyright stuff. So if you're joining us on Instagram and you want to see the show again, head over to X or Rumble. But Smitty, welcome to the show, man. Good to see you again.
Man, it's always a pleasure, brother. And I don't know. I can't stop smiling from ear to ear. You know, one of my favorite things to do is come on TruthStream. You know, I try to stay off a little bit because I don't want to seem like I'm a regular. But, you know, I love the show. I love what you guys do. Thank you for having me on. As always, thank you for being an amazing partner, friend, comrade, patriot. Thank you to Scott and you for everything you guys do. You know, it's amazing what you guys are doing. You're doing God's work, and we just got to keep that going. So I'm really excited. I'm proud, and I'm, you know, just honored to be here with you guys. You know, just amazing things. A lot of things to talk about and cover today. You know, I don't want to, like you said, probably don't want to make it too long, too in depth. But it's exciting times right now, man.
Yeah, we've been going in depth with Gene Decode yesterday or the other day, and we aired that yesterday, and last night with Chuck Swindle and Dylan Monroe that are brilliant dudes. And now I have you on to talk a bit about what's going on in the music industry. You know, if folks aren't familiar with Smitty, you know, when I first heard that Smitty was a truther and music distributor, and he was one of the good ones that he could talk about that. There was a lot of temptation, and he stayed away from that. And he's been on the straight and narrow. And he's been through a lot, and it's just awesome. I really didn't know where to put my music because a lot of the companies, a lot of the folks in the entertainment and music world they're not very aware of what's going on, but Smitty is. So I was like, well, I need to align with that dude. So that was a couple of years ago, and here we are. So where do you want to start, bro?
Man, I think just like maybe a moment of gratitude, and just really just want to acknowledge all the great things that are happening right now. XRP has just hit 10,000 a token. No, I'm kidding. I wish. No, we're seeing a lot of things play out right now that are great things. I think we're like inches away from regulatory clarity for cryptocurrencies. And that means that blockchain technology like Distromint can come out and not worry about being considered or called a security. One of the big breakthroughs that we've just recently made. So I got a buddy called Average John on X, and he's like a programmer slash blockchain dude. He dibbles and dabbles in it. You know, I don't know if he's like, you know, super duper hip to the programming side of thing, coding and all that, but he definitely has partners in the blockchain, Evernode, which is a layer 2 blockchain that's been built on the XRPL, which is really exciting because anything that is built on the XRPL for me is like, you know, that's a game changer in itself. We already know XRP transacts and it operates, and the blockchain is like seamless. and not XRP, the token, XRPL, which is the XRP ledger, which is the blockchain that the XRP token lives on. This type of technology is so advanced. I mean, it's light years ahead of Bitcoin, Ethereum. There's no gas fees. You know, I'd say about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Yahoo Finance did an article, and they basically were talking about how Sound Alive Records was the first independent record label to pay royalties in cryptocurrency. And of course, our favorite currency was the XRP. So, you know, anyways, getting back to my buddy, Average John, we talked about 6 months ago, and he was like, you know, Smitty, what if we could do radio on the blockchain? And, you know, that would be a game changer. And I kind of just like, I said, you know, hey, everybody's got ideas, and people are always contacting me and saying, you know, Smith, well, let's do this, let's do that. He contacted me maybe about 5 or 6 days ago, and he was like, it's ready. And I was like, what do you mean it's ready? He was like, radio. He was like, we can do it right now. I said, really? He was like, what do you want your domain to be? And I said, no, give me a second. I'm going to go buy a domain right now. So I went and I bought soundaliveradio.net, and I you know, did the little inputs in the DNS and so forth. The you know, the name service, the domain name service and all that.
Right.
And next thing you know, we're live. So if you go to your browser and type in soundaliveradio.net, yes, it'll take you to a landing page where our blockchain radio station lives. And it is actually live and functional. However, I have yet to upload the content in terms of the programming. And yeah, so we're live on the Evernode blockchain, and this blockchain is very different from a lot of other blockchains because of its capability to store data and its ability to basically serve off of each other. If I had a diagram, I could show you a bunch of servers connected to each other and then kind of feeding off each other, helping each other. It's like having a concrete foundation. And then the nodes, the operators and the nodes are all very talented, skilled people who know what they're doing and they understand. So, I mean, what it means is that if one goes down, you got another backup. If one goes down, there's another backup. If another goes down, there's another backup. But what is radio on the blockchain? Well, it eliminates the need for these massively expensive radio campaigns. And I know this because I've ran many of them. I've bought them and I've run them in excess of $50,000, okay, for a national radio campaign in the United States. And we're talking terrestrial radio, and we're talking R&B, hip hop, gospel, country, blues, rock. It's absolutely one of the most expensive things and costs. And if you're like, you know, a major label artist and you're signed to, you know, a major record deal, you probably have $1 million budget or a $1.5 million budget. So radio's not a big deal. You can get on there and do it. But for the average artist, this is something that they could probably never do in their entire lifetime, because most people don't even have $1,000 in the bank to cover an emergency. So what I'm saying is the problem we're solving with decentralized blockchain radio is, instead of having to go through these intermediaries, these third-party apps, you know, and you have to buy an app or go to the App Store or go to Google Play, you can go directly to soundaliveradio.net and you can listen to radio anywhere in the world, 24 hours a day, okay, 24/7, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and get radio, like real radio, uninterrupted. And it's hosted on the blockchain.
So how many channels would there be? Like if someone likes different styles of music, how would that part work?
So this is all going to come down to Evernode, the blockchain Evernode, and basically Sound Alive Radio is just one channel on the Evernode blockchain, which will have several stations. But what we've done is we've broken up our programming into 4 sectors. Okay. We're gonna have Smitty Radio, which is just like everything that I do with my artists, and I've got hundreds, thousands of songs out there. That'll be a 3-hour block that plays twice a day. Then we'll have a rock radio, which will either be hosted by you guys in terms of Joe Rosati or Kristen Capolina. That's my sister. Love you. And shout out to her. She's amazing. And she's also part of our label, huge part of our label, and doing amazing things. She is flourishing like I've never seen before, online and abroad. And she's also probably one of the most talented and storied guitarists in the entire world, like right now, world-class musician. Same with Joe. If you guys don't know, Joe is also a fucking mega talented, super awesome fucking musician. I love having him a part of our team. And then we're going to have Sound Alive Hits. And Sound Alive Hits is going to be basically a station where we mix and match everything. And then if we have various artists who want to be a part of what we're doing, they can join us. And maybe we might offer like a monthly package where you get spun 4 to 8 times a day, for like, $100 or $200 or the equivalent in cryptocurrency. Obviously, we're going to spin our artists and our label artists and our artists that are distributed through us. And then the artists that we're working with, we're going to spin them. And then the final sector is going to be called the Cook Up. And the Cook Up is going to be a mixture of like maybe 30-minute truth streams, some talk radio. We're going to do interviews. We're going to, release new music. And we're also going to just kind of like do a spotlight on whatever artist that we feel, definitely needs the airtime. But these 4 sections are going to run for 3 hours, twice a day. That's 24 hours of programming. And it'll run 24 hours a day. I'm going to start uploading the content for the first block today because we already have it set up. Everything is already ready to go and launch. I just have to upload the MP3s. And if you're interested in getting on Sound Alive Radio, then definitely hit us up at info@soundaliverecords.com, or you can @ me.
So someone went to the, they're not seeing, I just went to Sound Alive Radio, and some people may not be seeing it yet, but if you type in a search engine, you guys can see that it's that something is up. I think you just you have to.
You don't put the www in front of it. Only thing you're going to do is just put soundaliveradio.net, and you'll get to the landing page. Okay. And that's just for the way it's hosted right now on the blockchain. It's on Evernode blockchain. And so I mean, if you put www in front of it, it probably won't work. If you add any other, I don't know what you call it in the beginning, header, footer, whatever. So just go into the search and just type, or go into your
you know what works? It's the HTTPS. That's the one that works.
Yep. That just means it's secure. Yeah, HTTP is there's no SSL certificate. HTTPS means that you are we have a SSL certificate, and we are and we're good to go.
That's what it looks like. Just if anyone's, I just went there just so you know, but it's coming soon.
No, and I mean, when I say that, I mean all I have to do is basically log into the blockchain server and start uploading the MP3s for the programming, and we're live. Like that's how soon it is. So it'll be today at some point. Awesome. I just need the time, and then also I've got to sit down with my team, and we're gonna have to actually, do all the ins and outs and the announcements and like the talk in between the programming and so forth. Definitely want to showcase and shout out all our artists that we're working with. But no, it's very exciting, and it's a game changer. The second part of this is that when the payment structure is actually added, and it works. Okay, yeah, HTTP. Somebody put Cat Loves Life. Yeah, you want to put an S after that. But either way, when we add the payment infrastructure, artists will get fairly compensated for every second that their record is being spun, on radio, on the blockchain, which is very exciting because it means that no more paywalls, no more expensive radio campaigns. People can hear you anywhere in the world from any place. And this is going to become hugely popular and very quickly. So, I mean, like I said, it was just an idea. My brother, Average John, he brought it up, 6 months ago. I said, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then he came back to me like 5 days ago and was like, it's ready. He's like, let's do this. And so, yeah, I mean, it was like an instant thing. The other part of this,
there's so many ideas that are flying, even, when people approach us with either products or ideas or interviews, like it's so hard to keep up. Like people send Scott and I amazing info, and some of it's been on Facebook. I haven't even had a chance to go through it because we've been doing these interviews and just trying to catch up. And then we're doing an in-person event in Washington State at the end of the month. So yeah, I apologize. I haven't been able to look at everything. There's it's like the dam's breaking and there's so much information. I can't even keep up. So I get that.
No, for sure. Really, the most exciting part about this is that nobody's done this yet. There's a lot of people that are like, trying to kind of do what DistroMint does, but they don't understand what DistroMint does. And DistroMint is another aspect of it in terms of, we're going to cover the distribution and the NFT tokenization of the assets, the music assets, and then as well as providing, new solutions to current major and independent record labels and music distributors, through dashboards and through, forward-thinking technology, which includes the ability to tokenize and distribute all under one umbrella. That's also part of my patent, which is digital tokens using blockchain. You can look it up in the USPTO. I don't know if we've been approved already or if it's been granted. It possibly can. I mean, I'm so busy. I have so many things going on. I'll be 1,000 with you when I tell you that I don't check it every day. But last time I checked, we were under examination from, one of the top, patent USPTO, Patent and Trademark Office of the United States, and she was examining the patent. So the fact that we're in examination mode, that means we've been out for about 18 months or longer, and now this is where we find out, the real deal. Now, the cool thing about it is we are the first one to file. So that means that if, let's say, the patent is not granted, I can go in there, fix a few things, resubmit it. And of course, I'll get seniority due to the fact that I was the first one to file this particular patent. So, I mean, it's pretty freaking exciting. So, I mean, the music industry moving forward is amazing, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic how things move forward. I'm really, really excited, and I'm excited to take music and art and give it back to the people and give it back to the creators and put the power back into the hands of the creators and the artists.
Right. Well, I think what's great is because people who have had a multifaceted background that understand and have empathy for the struggles of being an artist, but then also have the business acumen aspect of it. I think that's what's so cool about you and I teaming up together, because my background has been, I've run a nightclub, I've booked bands, live events. I had to hire the right people and put them in place. I've worked with sound guys before. I've produced films and done acting and location scouting. So what's been interesting is a lot of people, if they're just doing one thing and it doesn't work out, it's really easy to get frustrated and keep banging your head against the wall. But if you look at that adversity and use it to learn another skill, well, then it only really helps in the long run, so that you understand another aspect of either the industry or profession that you're in. And so it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. And I do have a feeling that you and I and maybe a few other folks might be teaming up to put together some live events down the road, and whatever that looks like with being funded by XRP is going to be incredible. Because that's the one thing, I've had to work with the budget of limitations for most of my life, really. I ran a nightclub, and I did it on credit cards because I didn't want people's help to where, I would owe them something if it didn't work out. And then the films that I've made, it was like a collective currency, or a social currency, really, in that I knew a lot of folks in the Tacoma, Washington area. And if we needed a location, I would go in and I'd find someone that worked there that might have an interest in acting or what have you, or a business owner that I knew. And we would cast that person in the role, so that they know that they had a chance to act, but they were also there to make sure everything was going right in their location and nothing was being taken advantage of. So I've had to work around like a lot of guerrilla style everything in my life. So
yes.
It's going to be really exciting to see where this goes when we actually have the funds to do this.
No, and I'm 1,000% with you. I'll be 1,000 with you. I've liquidated massive amounts of XRP and assets just to keep things afloat and keep things going at times, because a lot of times, you got to pick up the slack for everything that we used to have that, is kind of reinventing itself right now. So, I'm back in XRP stacking mode now. But I'm excited because I know that we have time to stack. I don't think we'll see any gigantic shift in XRP or in any type of token until probably September. Mr. T was very clear when he said, give us till September to get the financial house in order. So while everything is organizing, and while all these sensationalists are on here and they're like, oh, XRP to $10 tomorrow, $15, 10 grand, blah, 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 blah. It's all talk to me. I'm looking at the markets. I'm looking at the reactions. We're making minor steps forward, with the SEC and this, that, and the third, and getting closer to actual, realization and value. And same with the foreign currency exchanges, the Forex and IQD, ZIMS, dinars, and dong, gold, silver. Everything is going to move rapidly, but it will move at a point when it happens. And my thing is, I'm not a magician. I used to do a lot of speculating, and I would speculate that XRP could go to 10 grand or 100 grand or $1 million a token. I still believe in that, but I think on its time it will come. But more than that, I think now is the best time for these hidden pocket investors who see the potential, like in DistroMint or TruthStream, Sound Alive Radio, Sound Alive Records, for them to step up and be like, you know what, I want in early on these projects, because these guys have already laid the foundation. They've been creating the building blocks for success and just stacking things up one on top of the other. And, it only gets better and better. I mean, the podcast, TruthStream, gets better every time. I get sucked into it to the point where, I don't work. I'm just like sitting there just in awe. It's amazing conversations, amazing guests and hosts and so forth. So, I mean, this is the time now for these little hidden people. And I know y'all out there, for y'all to jump in and be like, well, look, TruthStream needs a professional studio and, a little bit of marketing and maybe some advertising budget. Maybe I want to invest into DistroMint because I know DistroMint's going to change the way that music is distributed. Or maybe, I want to become a sponsor for Sound Alive Radio because it's radio on the blockchain. So, I mean, everything we're doing right now is amazing, amazing. And wow, Clojo said we need a flippening where creators make the abundance they truly deserve and corporations dissipate. She's 1000% correct. And the way that you guys can do that is start supporting us and stop supporting these stupid corporations, because they're all going to fizzle out in the end of the day. And we've kind of made a case for everything. If you look at the work, man, we're doing all the legwork without the big giant budgets. I mean, like I said, man, when I say that I've literally leveraged and liquidated, massive amounts of XRP, it's exactly what I've done just to keep things going. And also, building the concrete foundation and then being able to compete with what we got going on out here. So, it would be great. Joe, Scott, myself, we all would be blessed by any type of donation, investment via XRP or your favorite token. We can do a lot of different things with the money. We're going to put it to work. And of course, it keeps us working as well, because we got bills to pay as well, so it's like, we're dedicating ourselves and our souls and our well-being and everything to this movement. And we're doing it because we love humanity and we love human beings, and we're just good people. And so I don't want to ever take away from that. And the praise that I give these guys is the same praise I give myself. And that's how I think about myself. And that's how I think about the people that are in my circle and my cipher, that we are amazing people. We're doing God's work, and we're protected by the angels. Archangel Michael is above us, and we're here for the change. And this is, the suffering, literally being nailed to the cross, because that's how it's felt for so many years, for so many of us, basically sacrificing your friendships, family, life, finance. Like it's such a huge sacrifice to make. But, the beauty at the end of the road is that God's going to give you more than you could have ever asked for and more than what you could have ever imagined.
We're going to get sick of winning, according to Trump.
No, I mean, we're already there, though, Joe. And the thing is, like, just us being on this podcast and doing this is winning all day. And I don't know, man. I'm just filled with joy. I woke up this morning and I was so excited about the show. I was here, probably 2.5 hours early. We'll just, doing my thing, having my coffee, working out, answering messages, emails, and things of that nature. But like, this is like what I live for. I love this. And I love the guests that you have on board too. And I want them to know as well that they are valued. They're high value people. They're amazing people doing beautiful things for the world. And, what you started with, this little small podcast, and now it's grown into something which is so much bigger. And, obviously, the difference between you and a Joe Rogan is a budget, and that's it. Because at the end of the day, if your budget was where Joe Rogan's budget was, your podcast would be all over the world and bigger and badder than his. You know what I mean?
Well, I do want to say what I just to separate our show. I mean, to have subject matter from what we had last night with Dylan Monroe and Chuck Swindle, and then Gene Decode the day before, News Treason. And then we've got Dr. David Martin, and then the music world. Like Scott and I, we do this in a way where we have the guests that we're interested in. And between Scott and I's backgrounds, which are a lot of it's similar, but a lot of it's pretty diverse, it's really cool to cast such a wide net. We don't want to focus on one thing. We don't want it to get boring. We don't want to, hone in on one subject matter for too long. And I think the beauty of that is when we're able to do some of these live events. I mean, and I don't know what to call it yet. And I'm just saying this because probably folks born in the 70s, 80s, 90s, they've heard of Lollapalooza. I see us doing some kind of, for lack of a better word right now, Truthapalooza, where we have amazing speakers and amazing bands, but just a really high energy type of event with healers. I don't know what that looks like yet, but like you said, yeah, the budgeting limitations definitely part of that. but the networking and the quality of people, like I couldn't be happier to have met the people that we've met through the show. And our motivations, I think nearly everyone that we've had on our show, I mean, there's been a few that aren't, but the motivations are for humanity. I mean, most people, they can't be bought. We're mission driven, and we're on the same page with the focus of making a better world for, not only ourselves, but primarily for children and future generations is what motivates us to do this.
Oh, yes. No. I 1000% resonate with you. And I'll say this, I've met amazing people off of, just being on TruthStream and the messages and the cool people, artists, clients, partners, like everybody. I meet amazing people, and they, they come to me and they say the most beautiful things to me, and it just keeps me going every day. And makes me realize also that we can't stop. We got to keep this thing moving. We gotta keep it going. But I'll tell you what, man, I know that there's somebody out there right now that sees what we're doing and understands it, and also knows that their calling is to help us elevate what we're already got going on. So, I mean, it's really exciting. And like, even just having the opportunity to talk about these things is amazing. Right. There's so much I want to tell you guys. And there's so much that I can't talk about right now, but we're in some really, really serious things right now in terms of we're in a few legal battles, and we're also we're fighting the good fight for the little guys. A lot of this has to do with music. It also has to do with intellectual property, things of that nature. I don't know if you guys have noticed a trend, but there's been a large trend in takedowns and I want to say chargebacks from Spotify to creators. And they're not actually specifying the actual parameters for why they would do these things. But then you go and you take a good look at like a company like Spotify, and they've never profited. They've never been profitable. Okay. So how are they still in existence? They've been around for so long, at least 12 years, 12, 14 years. I think Spotify was 2008 or 2009, right. Their inception. And then you find out that, these are companies that basically have been used to do a myriad of things that are not ethical and that have no benefit to a creator or an artist unless you are a major record player label. Now, two things. One of my counsel told me the other day. He was like, well, Smitty, you want to increase your revenues, your business. He's like, cold calling is not the thing. And if y'all don't know what cold calling is basically negotiation or introduction to doing business via just basically a cold email, cold phone call. And he was saying, it's you got to know the right people and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I had to tell him, I said, I know the right people. I said, I just don't get down with their shit. I'm not going to your party. Right. I'm not participating in your crap. I'm not, signing my name in blood. I'm not doing any of this shit. Like, get out of here with that crap. And I will not sell my soul or myself or everything that I stand for, my principles and my values. And he was like, well, you're a man of principle then. And I said, yeah, I am. And I stand on my principles. And you know what? Being a man of principle means that, guess what? You're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to go the hard. The road less traveled is what I call it. Okay. And that's what happens. But that's not anything to feel bad about, because that makes us pioneers. Okay. We're traveling the road less traveled. We're standing on our principles and our values. And things are going to be, you're going to have a uphill battle for a while. But when this thing really catches fire and it picks up like it's been doing lately, things are just going to happen. And it's going to happen so quickly. And like I said, God's going to bless us and the people around us, the people that work with us, the people that have helped us, the people who've supported us, and their families, is we're going to be blessed beyond what we could ever imagine. So, that's the thing. Like, everybody going through the battle, going through the struggle, going through the fight right now. This is the time where you anchor down and no surrender. Okay. Never surrender. One of my colleagues from defunct company that I'm not working with anymore, but he told me, he was like, Smitty, he's like, whatever you do, he said, never surrender, never, ever. And I haven't. And, I hope that you guys are inspired to continue your fight, because, I mean, we're all going through micro battles. It's a microcosm of a macrocosm. There's a larger battle at being waged right now, and this is a spiritual war. So, I mean, we're all kind of feeling it on all levels. And there's huge battles, and then there's the micro battles, then the inner battles, and then the battle just really between yourselves, because you're not fighting anyone out here, physically. You're battling. The only person you're going to go to war with is yourself every day. So you have to sit down and say, look, am I going to fight myself, or am I going to love myself? Am I going to live in fear, or am I going to live in praise? Am I going to be happy, or am I going to be sad? It's a choice. It's a decision. And when you choose happiness, and you choose love, and you choose to be brave and courageous, all these other things just dissipate, and they disintegrate. So, I mean, it's, I know I'm getting a little spiritual here, but I feel like this is a spiritual podcast. I also feel like this show kind of resonates on these things. And you have people in here who really like come in and give you the facts. And Dr. David Martin, he definitely gives you the facts, and he's fighting,
Love that, man. He's incredible to meet in person. And, a lot of people are struggling with sleep. So, and this happened to me last night. I woke up, and then I needed to, I was like, okay, I need to set a couple things up, but then I couldn't get back to sleep. And so I want to share this video with people. This is 30-minute video. I'm just going to show you what it is, but it's called Yoga Nidra. And this has helped me many times. So if you guys go to YouTube, type in Yoga Nidra, this woman's voice, it's so soothing. It's right here. Just making sure people can see it. That's it right there. 30-minute Yoga Nidra for a deep reset. And it's the way she explains it at the very start. I don't even want to try. She's amazing, but it literally resets your mind, body, and soul. And so I highly recommend it for people. There's also a 10-minute one to reset your nervous system. But I just want to share that because, we like to share what works for us. I mean, it's very rare you'll see Scott or I talking about something that we're not actually doing ourselves, because we just, we got it. We started our show because we heard about human trafficking and we, of course, we love the support, but like we're not going to do anything that's going to put get our priorities mixed up. And so I don't know. I've seen a lot of shows where their focus becomes the numbers and the money and all that stuff. And that's never motivated me, and it never will. So that's why our shows, people say it seems like they're hanging out with friends at a campfire. Well, that is such an honor and compliment. I mean, I used to take, used to be an outdoor ed instructor for at-risk youth over in Idaho. And, we would sit around the campfire. We would have a truth stick. So whoever was holding the stick was the one or talking stick, and we'd allow them to speak. And so I think, that's what we do on the show. And we're very guest centric, and when we listen a lot. And I don't know, we love bringing that to the show. And sometimes it just feels like people are hanging out rather than quote unquote a show, because most of them are unscripted. We at least talk about what we're going to talk about sometimes, but that's what we want. We want people to feel like they're kicking it with Joe and Scott, and this is how we actually are. I mean, we're not perfect, but and I just want to let people know, if you are in the Northwest, if you're in Oregon or Idaho or Washington, we actually have a friend flying in for the event. I'm going to share this. We're putting on a live event this at the end of March, and it's the 29th. It's going to be from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Millhouse Cider. In fact, I'll pull up the website of what that place looks like. And it's just a gathering. It's not, there might be, I think Janelle, one of the women that are helping us put this together, she might have a little boombox and a little microphone, but we're not getting a big PA or anything. It's not Joe and Scott centric. It's a place for moms to meet each other and talk about homeschooling or what it's been like to not vaccinate your kids. Like, we need to meet each other in person. So we're honored to do it. We don't see a lot of other people, these bigger podcasts in Washington State that, I'll tag them in posts on X and they won't even like it. I'm like, how are we where we go one, we go all? How are we uniting when most of us don't even know each other? And it's certainly not for a lack of effort on Truth Stream's part. We're locking arms with whoever we can that's in this movement. And at the end of the show today, I'm going to play the music video Lifting Veils that's about that exact thing. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. We're in this for the unity team, and people that are goodly and godly are all welcome at this event. If you're not on that team, just stay the hell away, because we're part of the angelic force here that's willing to do this for the right reasons on this planet. And it makes more sense. Like, I think, Smitty, I think you relate to this.
Yeah. No.
All these things that we've been through have prepared us for where we are now and where we're going. I mean, we can look at them as hurdles or arrows, but any arrow that's shot at me, I grab it, pull it out, and I put it in my sheath, or that's the attitude you have to do this work. So
I agree. No, it's God's work, everything you guys are doing. And if I could make it to the event, I would be there. And I might still try. It would be amazing to meet up and just be there and host a bunch of beautiful people. But yeah, I mean, I think now is the point where we do need to connect. Truthers, the unvaxxed, even if you're vaxxed and maybe you regret it, let's come together. Let's talk, let's network, let's connect our resources. Cause I mean, the government's going to government, and finance is going to finance, and XRP is going to XRP. But at the end of the day, we can be proactive in everything that we're doing together, as a family, and basically just, and we're all fighting different battles. One thing I never do is I never judge a book by its cover, and I never judge a person either, because you don't know what that person is going through, what they've been through.
Right.
You don't know any of those things. And until you know those things, and a lot of times people are scared to share those things as well, because there's a lot of trauma and fear involved in what they've been through. So, I mean, you just got to be open-minded. You got to have be lighthearted, in terms of, just boom, like someone just said, grow the tribe. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
1,000%.
Yep.
Yeah. And we are a tribe as humanity, and as people. We're all from different walks of life. I don't have the smoothest of backgrounds. I'm sure someone's probably already pulled my background check and, seen the things I did in my youth 20 years ago, 25 years ago, XYZ. I had a few run-ins with, back in my time. And I'll be honest with you, I'm nowhere near that man or that young man that I was. Now I'm a full-grown man, and I love the skin that I wear, and I'm very excited to just be who I am. But I'm also excited for all the people around me, and I accept everybody around me for what they've been through and what they've gone through. And one of the things that I've seen problems in is just folks. It's never a problem between you and them. It's a problem between them accepting themselves, because once they get a true and genuine friend or a supporter or a system or a company that actually wants to work with them and help them in what they do, it's hard to believe. And so, for everybody out there that thinks that, there's no one out there that really supports you, loves you, cares for you, I want you to understand that it does exist. There are people out here that love, support you, care for you, think about you, pray for you. Your angels are always above you. They're always protecting you. They're always guiding you. And, that's the only way that I believe.
You have to ask. That's what I've learned. You have to speak to your guardian angels. You have to pray to them. You have to, make a concerted effort, because like we've learned about this spiritual battle, the entities that exist in other dimensions, if you will, they're not supposed to really interfere with what we're up to. But it got to the point where they had to, because we were on the brink of humanity just being completely exterminated. Apparently,
we were close. We were very close, and when I say we were close, so
real quick, I want to bring up. I want to bring up where, so people can see where the event is. I can't believe we landed this location. I'm so thankful for it.
I want to see this.
Here we go. There it is.
Wow.
So yeah, we're getting this little part over here to the right, and there's no other event. There's actually, there's a stage across there that eventually I think we'll do another event. Right now, I don't think there's anything going on the stage. What we want though is to be able to, because we don't know how many people are going to show up, and we just want it to be that, people are welcome. And if we need the extra room, we don't know if it's going to rain that day or be cold or anything like that. So we're just praying for a beautiful day for Patriots to come together in a like-minded setting where you don't have to worry about what it is you're saying and all that. That's the biggest thing about these events, that, Scott and I have been to a couple, and then our friends are starting to go. Like Badlands is having some events, and they look around, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have to reach into my brain and think, okay, how awake is the person I'm talking to? What can I talk about? I don't want to bring that up. There's none of that. You just get to be free, like how we should be. So
I agree.
So it's going to be amazing. So we're looking forward to it. Anything you want to say in closing? I know we're trying to keep this one under an hour today.
Yep. No, just thank you for having me on board. I feel like we shared some really cool information. If you're looking to join us at Sound Alive Records, just go to soundaliverecords.com and book a meeting. You can also email us at info@soundaliverecords.com. If you just want to connect with me, I'm always on X. X is like my number one platform in terms of where I'm at. I'm on X like all the time, 24 hours a day. I love X. It's like truly amazing place. Met most amazing people. And then, guys, like support these guys, TruthStream. They're doing God's work. They're always putting out great content and doing amazing things. And look, if I if I get to where I need to go, I'll be the first one to invest into TruthStream, and help take this to the next level, because I absolutely love what these guys do. So yeah, big shout out to the whole Sound Alive Records family. Slider 4. Let's see what we got. That's cool, man. Yeah, just showing you where we.
It has Kristen coming up here. There she is.
There we go. Yep, Kristen Capolino. Yep, and shout out to everybody that we're working with. Joe, and also check out Joe's music, Joe Rosati. Go to Spotify and just type in Joe Rosati. You got To Unite, Freedom Now. We got, a couple different projects that we've already distributed for Joe, and Joe's, doing really well on Spotify. He's got a nice little monthly listening base, and, the streams are coming in. It would be great if you guys would, hit Joe up and just support everything that he's doing. And, that's it. I mean, look, man, I'm going to see what I can do to try to get out there on the 29th. It's a kind of short notice, only 14 days till 2 weeks until that time period. But either way, support everything you guys are doing. Thank you for having me again. God bless everybody. Let's just keep moving forward, guys.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, we weren't even thinking it would grow into something where people would come in because it's just, a 5-hour event. But one of our friends and sponsors is coming because we've never met him and he's never been to Washington State. So, but this is just the first. So don't feel pressured. I want to do something when we know the weather's a little better and it's going to be, maybe in the summer, because it's only like 40 minutes from Mount Rainier. And so it could be a little bit chilly. So that's why we want to just test the waters. I always, just like when you send, this is my advice to people, because I've heard about nightmare stories on Venmo and crypto. Always send $1 first. Make sure it goes through. And before you just start sending people stuff, because man, once it's gone, it's not like you can ask for a refund.
No, that's right. No, definitely do a test send, and I would say for all my cryptocurrency and blockchain folks, you already know, if you're sending transactions between each other, just go ahead and, send a tiny little transaction, make sure it gets to the wallet it's supposed to go, the address it's supposed to go, verify that with the receiver. And then from there, you can do your transaction. So yeah, that's great advice right there, Joe. Awesome.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, Smitty, stick around for afterwards. Yep. I'm going to play the lifting veils video. This is the TikTok version because it's just too big of a file to load into StreamYard. So anyway, God bless everybody. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
I've known for some time something about the world ain't right. The darkness lives in plain sight, in the ether. Adjust your eyes. There are those that have no clue. You give them hints, they just stare at you. Most live in Plato's cave, watching the wall, chained up as slaves. As slaves. What's not true is what you believe.